Cork's Red FM.
Yeah, obviously, we went into the game kind of expecting it to be a fierce, close game and to go down to the last kind of couple of minutes. I mean, when you look at the last few games over the last couple of years with Tip, it's always come down to the last few minutes, and Tip have kind of won the last few games, by no more than 2 or 3 points. So to be honest, we were expecting no different against Tip in the first round, but thankfully, in the second half we got scores to pull away, and we were able to stay ahead, and we just kind of drove on, and it just kind of made everyone's nerves a little bit easier towards the end.
Yeah, and looking back on some of the comments maybe after the game from the lads, it's clear that you took a lot of motivation from the fact that so many of the so-called experts had you written off as an over the hill team. So I'd imagine you've taken a lot of satisfaction from that.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, obviously, we were only kind of concentrating on our own performance and making sure that we did well. But when everyone's kind of writing you off, it just gives you that extra little bit of incentive to kind of prove them wrong. And I mean, nobody likes to be kind of written up as hot favourites and stuff like that. And we were glad to go in as underdogs into the Tip game, and it just put more pressure on Tip and just took the pressure off us. And we were just delighted to come away with the victory in the end.
Yeah, do you think that the performance was as good as it gets for this Cork team, Kieran? Because it was such an excellent display against a very good team. Is that as good as it gets, or do you think you have an extra 10% if needed?
Well, you'd always be hoping that there'd be an extra kind of 10% there. Obviously, it was a great overall team performance, and every fella, worked very hard for the team, and it'll take a performance like that in every game we play from here on in, if we're going to continue to succeed. But you'd always be hoping that the further we go in the championship, the better we'll get and the stronger we'll get, and hopefully fellas we get fitter, and we'll be able to drive on even harder in the next few games.
Yeah, and I suppose the difference now, Kieran, is that the level of expectation among supporters has kind of gone sky high since the win over Tip, and the underdogs tag won't really be there as such. Is that something you're comfortable with?
Sure, look, I mean, we've gone in, over the years kind of as favourites into games and stuff like that, so it's something that won't bother us too much. Obviously it was great for it to play the game when everyone was writing you off, but, I mean, it's not something that will, really phase us going into the next few games and stuff like that. Just getting your performance together and making sure that you're playing well. Yeah,
no, from a personal point of view, Kieran, you came in for some criticism after the Tip game because of the fact you didn't get on the scoreboard on the day, but outside of that you did perform very well, worked very hard, and are there any worries about your own form heading into the Limerick game?
No, not particularly really. I mean, I felt I got on the ball quite a lot during the game, and I mean, at the end of the day, all I can ask for everyone is that they work very hard for the team, and that was all I was trying to concentrate on during the day, and a couple of times there when I found myself on the ball, I was probably maybe 40-50 yards out from goal and just wasn't in a position to shoot, so the better option was to lay the ball off to fellas outside me, and as long as I'm making the right decisions and stuff like that, I'm happy with that, and so is the management.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is Limerick now next at Páirc Uí Chaoimh, Kieran. It's a tricky one because you'll be expected to win easily, and effectively Limerick have nothing to lose here really.
Exactly, I mean, you saw it there with Waterford and Clare. Clare were completely written off going into the game, absolutely nothing to lose, just go out and give it a crack, and Limerick are going to be coming down to Páirc Uí Chaoimh, it's a huge incentive for them, nobody's giving them a chance. Everyone's kind of talking about a Cork Waterford Munster final already, but we know that if we don't go down with the right attitude, Limerick are going to come down very hungry, and they're going to make life very difficult for us. It's up to us to make sure that we're in the right kind of mental state of mind going into the game, and that we're driving on, and we're going to look to keep up the intensity that we played with in the Tip game, and that's what we have to do going forward for the rest of the year.
Yeah, no shortage of incentive either for the Limerick game, Kieran, because if you win it'll be a Munster final against Waterford and Thurles to look forward to.
Yeah, certainly. There's a huge prize there for the winners, and I mean, we want to get back to the Munster final. We haven't been there now in a while, and it's very important to get back there. And if we go down and we play well against Limerick, we can certainly win and make sure that we take our place in the Munster final.
Yeah, I know you're only focusing on that Limerick game at the moment, Kieran, but looking at Waterford last Monday against Clare, if you do get into that Munster final, are you confident you can win it, because the bookies do have you as strong favourites now?
Sure, look, I mean, that's the kind of a game that we'd have to look at, if we get there. Certainly, Waterford went in under huge pressure into that game, in the sense that, it was a bank holiday Monday, the weather was very poor going in there. They were kind of raging off favourites, it was very hard for the Waterford guys to kind of get themselves up for it as much as the Clare guys were, you know. So certainly I know that Waterford will be looking for a huge improvement in the Munster final, and the one thing about them is that they always perform in Munster final day. So if we do get there, it certainly won't be an easy task.
Yeah, just finally, Kieran, before I let you go, disappointment on the club front last weekend for SARS, beaten by Middleton in the first round of the championship. A lot of shocks so far in the championship. You've got Blackrock now in the back door. Are you confident you can regroup and bounce back?
Yeah, certainly, that was a big blow to lose to Middleton. I mean, they just, played better than us in the day and deserved their win. I think when you look throughout the championship, there were so many kind of, shocks in the first round. It just shows within the county championship that on any given day, any team can beat any other team. I mean, that's been the same for the last couple of years throughout the championship, and it's no different this year. Obviously, we're going to be playing Blackrock now in the back door in the second round, and obviously Blackrock are a great club, a great history and tradition, and they have some excellent players, and it's going to take a huge improvement from us to get over them the next day. But we have a couple of weeks now to get things right going into the game, so hopefully we'll be able to amend things and put a good performance together against Blackrock.
Cork's Red FM.